Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you're here. We hear a lot these days about mindfulness. We may even hear how it can help us feel better when we're depressed or anxious, how it can help us cope with stress, but we may not understand how it does this or how to learn and use the practice most effectively in a therapeutic way. This podcast is designed to teach you how to use mindfulness therapeutically, to learn how to come down out of negative thoughts, to learn how to use your breath to come back into calm, or use your five senses to do the same, and to build your inner resilience resource so that you can more effectively cope with stress and come back into a centered and calm place. We also can learn how to use mindfulness therapeutically to practice connecting with our inner world in a compassionate and non-judging way. This is one of the most powerful things that we can do to help us heal inner pain and get more connected at the same time with our true self. The inner thoughts, strengths, yearnings that we have, so that we can bring this true self, our inner strengths, our yearnings, more fully out into the world. So essentially, therapeutic mindfulness, as I am offering it in these episodes in this podcast, gives you two things. It gives you an inner resilience resource to help you cope more effectively with stress and lessen your experience of anxiety, depression, anger, even trauma. And also to help you connect with this inner true self, to connect with your inner world in a way that essentially allows you to develop an inner compass to help you live this true self more fully out in the world. And so the two things that you will kind of internalize as a result of listening to this podcast over time is to develop this inner resilience resource to cope with stress, and also to develop this inner compass to help you be your true self out in the world and live a more fulfilling life. Each of these therapeutic mindfulness episodes is designed to cover a bite-sized topic. So that it's 10 to 15 minutes in length, whether how to deal with negative internal thoughts to how to learn to practice your inner connectedness in a world that often has us rushing around feeling very disconnected from what's happening internally, whether because we are on our devices so often, or because we've learned to numb out to painful inner experiences, that it's too difficult to be with anxiety, stress, and so we've learned to kind of shut down to it. We will learn not only how damaging that can be over time, even though it's adaptive in the short term, it can really harm our capacity to be resilient or to heal our inner pain the more that we shut down to our inner experience. So we will learn ways to help us reconnect in a way that also helps us to do so in a non-judging and even loving way. And we will learn that together so that you can learn to really, through this practice, develop your inner resilience and your inner compass. And most importantly, in addition to the bite-sized topic of the day, each podcast episode of 10 to 15 minutes in length will give you a brief guided meditation we will do together related to the topic at hand, so that you can really build this inner resource, resilience resource, inner compass, one mindful breath at a time. And don't worry if you feel like I've tried mindfulness before, I'm a bad meditator. We all have that experience. It does not at all mean you're a bad meditator because your mind is restless, your body is restless, whatever. We will address all of those things, including how stress acts as restlessness in mind and body, and how we can practice one breath at a time, bringing ourselves back into a centered, calm place from which we can live a happier and more fulfilled life. So we will work together to build our mindful muscle one breath at a time. And now, let us segue into the more experiential base part of each episode. Now that we have covered the introduction to therapeutic mindfulness, let's practice just for a few minutes this first experience of guided meditation together so that we can really begin to internalize this. This is an experience-based practice, and so our brains begin to change by developing experience in it. So let us do that. Let's find a comfortable position, one that allows you to sit with a sense of groundedness, and I'm going to try to be conscious of still being able to talk into the microphone. So bear with me as I navigate this first episode. So find a comfortable position, one that allows you to sit with a sense of groundedness so that your feet are resting on the floor, that your hands are resting in your lap or on your knees. And we'll try sitting in this, but you could also lie down. You could also stand. And we'll practice all sorts of different ways of doing mindfulness in the episodes to come. But for now, let your eyes gently close just to screen out the external stimuli so that you can practice connecting with your inner world. And I'm going to ring a bell 3 times. And just begin to hear the sound of the bell as a collecting and gathering point for your awareness. Perhaps noticing the sound as it's changing from moment to moment, just pulling all that scattered parts of your attention into the sound. And as the sound of the bell fades away, just opening your awareness, opening your attention to include the sounds that are happening around you in this moment. Perhaps noticing how each moment offers a new experience of sound, that it's continually changing moment to moment. You might also practice bringing your awareness into your breath. And in our next session, we will focus on the breath as a home base for our awareness. Because what we are really practicing in mindfulness meditation, the first thing that we're practicing is just honing our present moment awareness. So our minds are not very good at doing this, so don't worry if your mind continually is jumping off of the sounds or the sensation of breath and going back into thinking. You might not even be aware that it's doing this, and that's completely fine. But even when you notice, oh yes, my mind has disappeared off of the present moment, that's a moment of victory. That's a moment where you've recognized that the mind is just doing its thing. Its busy thing, jumping from thought to thought. There's a term called monkey mind, where we're jumping from thought to thought like a monkey would jump from vine to vine in the jungle. And it's just the activity of the mind. It's nothing to worry about. It doesn't mean that you're bad at meditating. It just means that we have to train our mind one mindful breath at a time. It's like training a muscle to learn to relax, let go of the thoughts, and just relax into this moment. And you might tune into this moment again through sounds. Sounds are a wonderful way to anchor your awareness in what is happening in this moment, including the sound of my voice rising, falling, the sounds that are happening around you in this room, sounds you might not normally pay attention to, as well as beyond the walls of this room. And again, as I briefly noted before, the breath is also a wonderful anchor for bringing you back into this moment. So don't worry if your mind skips off a million times into thinking. That's just the nature of the mind. We don't judge it. When we notice that we've gone off of this present moment, it's just, it's a victory. It's a victory of awareness. Okay, you're aware. And then you invite your awareness to settle back into this moment, perhaps through noticing the sensations of this breath that's happening in this moment. Through the inhale and the exhale. So in this first guided mindfulness meditation, we're not doing too much about learning how to apply mindfulness therapeutically. That will come in later sessions. What we're doing right now is just beginning to get acquainted with the idea of over and over again bringing our awareness back into this moment through, we've practiced 2 anchors today. One through sound, the sound that is happening in this moment, just being aware. And also through the anchor of the breath. The breath is a wonderful foundation for therapeutic mindfulness, and indeed is a very essential foundation of how to use mindfulness therapeutically, because it's so connected with being able to bring our nervous system back into calm when it's stressed. So we can talk more about the breath in our next session. But for now, just noticing, at any moment, I can bring my awareness fully into this breath that's happening in this moment. Just breathing in, knowing I'm breathing in, breathing out, just knowing I'm breathing out. And that helps us connect with this present moment. Okay. So taking one more conscious breath in, so that when you're breathing in, just notice breathing in. Breathing out, just know that you're breathing out. And then when you feel ready, gently fluttering open your eyes and getting reconnected with the visual field around you in this moment. Just taking in the colors, the shapes that you see. And as always, I'm conscious of time and conscious of the fact that I tend to go over a little bit what I sometimes intend. So especially in this first session, we may have gone a little bit over the 10 to 15 minutes that I'm envisioning that each of these episodes will be. Very bite-sized, very applicable, very doable in just in a little snippet of time that you have, whether you're walking, cooking, even driving, as long as you're not closing your eyes during the meditation. But so that you can really bring this practice into your life, so that you can heal yourself and transform your life. That, after all, is the point of mindfulness applied therapeutically. Therapeutic mindfulness is using mindfulness to heal yourself, to reconnect with your inner world in a way that allows you to transform your life. So thank you very much for being present with me during this first episode, and I look forward to connecting with you again in our next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.